Hello, and welcome to Kat's Quarantine Salon. Today I'm going to be cutting my hair because I've run out of other things to do to procrastinate. This could go very good, very bad. It's usually hit or miss if it looks good or not, but the good thing about being in quarantine is you've got time for it to grow before you have to see people, most likely. I figured I would film today because some of you may be in the same boat where the person who cuts your hair, their salon is closed. And also we're all trying to practice social distancing and stuff. First thing that you want to do before you start cutting your hair is making sure that the sink is covered. The way that I cut my hair is I try and do a faded undercut, and then depending on your hair length and what you prefer, you can either decide, so I sweep my hair to my right side, and my left side has the part on it. With my right side, it's kind of up to you if you want to do a detached undercut or if you want it to fade into the top. I don't know what I'm going to do today. We are going to find out. First thing I'm going to do is find the part in my hair, get things situated. The reason why I'm saying this may or may not go well, one thing, it's either that way for the blend and the fade. Two, my hair on top is getting long enough that this is when I would normally go to a barber to get them to help with the top length, but we don't have that option, so we're gonna deal with it. So probably to start, I'll just start fading it in to the side like I usually do, and then if I wanna detach it, I might. I haven't decided. The thing you must always remember when cutting hair is you can always cut it shorter. So rather than just buzzing it all one length, it's good to start with the largest guard and then work your way down for the... My largest one is an 8. I will eventually, once I get it formed and making sure I'm not cutting too much, we'll probably go down to a 5 or a 6, but this is just safeguarding me. The biggest thing here that I've learned is rather than going directly up to the part, there's a natural kind of line right here, and to kind of just make sure that stays a shape. I don't know how to explain it, so maybe just watch. Because I started with the biggest guard, it probably doesn't look like anything's really been cut. We're just doing some shaping and making sure I don't take off too much to begin with. Now I'm gonna switch to the number 6 and then go about halfway, maybe a little bit higher, and then blend in, and then we're gonna work and figure out usually the lowest grade I'll do is a 2. It's all it's all a game, all testing. See what you get. Cool. So this is all going to be dealt with by the end of this. Just making sure, the whole point of going down is to make sure that the general shape is kept. I'm trying to go for a boxier shape rather than something that is round, so that's why I'm not going all the way up to my part. I want it to round down a little bit because otherwise Asian hair is gonna hate you. If there's not something to weight it down, it will stick straight out. So I'm trying to keep a little bit, that's why this is still long, but I'm gonna, again, that's gonna be fixed by the end of this because it's kind of aggressive right now. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take one of my intermediate middle lengths, which is gonna be a 3 or a 4, and go about halfway kind of literally draw a line about where the blending needs to begin. And then for doing the back and kind of like drawing a line, it's not going to be pretty as your barber's because you can't see it. But generally just feeling it, like my skull like starts to protrude right here. So with the intermediate, I'll either go right underneath or slightly above it. Because sometimes if you stop in the middle and then your fade is like right above it, it looks weird. But I like just feeling it. Ooh, hair just went down my back. Getting a good feel for it and just like learning how to feel and kind of get an idea about maybe this might be straight. All right, so now there is a pretty aggressive line between the split of the 3 and the 6. This is when you can start blending. I think first thing I'm gonna do is clean up my neck, do the 2, blend the 2. Usually I'll do like, there's the 3 up to the like middle, then there's a 2, and then there's like a 1.5 in the bottom to take care of this neck hair stuff. And when you're blending, like, don't go all the way straight up to where you stop. Like, it's literally the littlest bit at a time to kind of work your way up there. If it's easier, you can work rather than working your way up, because there's a chance that you'll cut too much, you can work your way down. So instead of doing the 4, you can start with the 5, and then the 4 will be like the middle one. Cool, let's whip out the 4 before I mess this up. Because I'm getting a little too adventurous. That was all about then. So as I said, usually the shortest I go is a 6 on the top. But I start with an 8 just so I don't mess it up. Right now the sides look pretty good to me. They're looking clean. I'm gonna go through and like just pretty this up and that kind of thing. But as you can see, straight sides rather than like following the round of my head with the clippers. When I first went in, when I was creating my palette, I just went straight up, and rather than putting pressure when it started bending, it was literally like straight up in the air. Sometimes it helps putting weight and then just like going along your hand wherever that your skull turns. But yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with all this stuff on top though. But it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. What's great about this side is because this is the side that rather than like an undercut, it's more of a fade. As long as the top's long, if I mess it up on this side, it can brush over and like clean it. This is the side that everyone can see, so this is the side that needs to be pretty. And it looks pretty good. I'm just gonna go in, clean it up a little bit. Doesn't need much. I don't think it needs much. Ooh, that took off a lot. I hope that wasn't a mistake. So the back is kind of a free-for-all. Usually when I cut my hair, my sides are faded really well because those are the things I can see, and then I end up going too far up the back. No one has ever told me it looks like awful. Because one of the ways to check, which we'll do in a little bit, is hold the mirror on this side and you can see anything that's like sticking out, because we want it to be as rounded as possible. Yeah. It also really helps to know your head. I have a cowlick back here, and it's always troublesome. So this is our side check. The back looks, yeah, there's that cowlick. There's always like a line, like right here. Can you see it? There's always like a weird line. Alright, so took a shower, cleaned up my mess, did my hair, put a little product in it, and I think it looks good. I'm happy with it. I did do a little bit of cleanup, very, very minor, just like a few stray little hairs that when they lay naturally, they lay differently than the way that I cut. So clean those up. But yeah, I think it looks good. This is something that I would go out in public in. But pretty much, thank you for watching. I just want to share this because from my experience, a haircut can be really uplifting when I'm feeling down, and if you're able to do it on your own and give yourself a cut that you like, it's just a little bit more affordable and you can maintain kind of that level of cleanliness and maybe like upliftedness. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, so hope you all are staying safe. Continue to social distance yourself from others. Just like we're literally all in this together to get through this, and the faster that we take it seriously, the faster we'll get through it, hopefully, and be able to flatten that curve. Bye.